recording?
Okay.
God, I gotta hit the got it button. All right. Well, we'll open the meeting, and the first item on the agenda is the minutes of the previous meeting. I hope you've all had a chance to look it over, and if there's not any changes, I'll accept the motion.
Well, I wasn't at the last meeting, so I don't think I should be making a motion to approve the minutes, right?
Yep. So
I shouldn't be making the motion either.
yeah. So yeah, Marjorie and Steve, I don't know if you had a chance to look at it, but if you guys want to make a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as written. I'm looking for them just because I can't find them at the moment.
I sent them with the materials, didn't I?
I know you did. I just don't have a folder right here.
I mean, if you want to delay voting on them until next month.
No, it's fine. Okay. I'm sure, I know you sent them.
Yeah. I took a look at them. Everything seems to be in order of
I think you could make the second, Rick, if you wanted to, because you're.
All right, she made the motion. I'll make a second on that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Okay. All those opposed? Ayes have it. So that takes care of that. And I'm gonna, from this point on, let's dispense with the regular order of the business, and let's move on to the anything that we have to vote on, and let's get that done now, and then we can continue, because Steve is got a time constraint here, and I'd like to have him involved in this part.
Okay, so I think there's the three applications now. We have two from Helen Whiting and one from who's the other person? The cobbler thing from Ernest and Teresa Damaris. So those are the three things we need to consider as far as the donations. Do you want to just go through them one at a time?
Sure.
Okay, so the Helen Whiting, the first one is the medical kit that belonged to Catherine Garapi Feeney from 100.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Her mother, yes.
To me, it doesn't seem like a huge, it's not as far as how much space it would take up. It definitely has a tie to Bellingham. She traveled as a traveling nurse, it just seems like. It doesn't actually say she was a nurse. But she had hypodermic needle and syringes, so I hope she was a nurse. Or dogs.
Or a diabetic, one of the two.
Said she provided medical care to residents under the supervision of a local doctor.
She was a foster mother.
She was a foster mother to 15 children.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Whoa.
And the Whitings, that's a like historical Bellingham name as far as
it is.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're actually, they've got stuff that's in the Bellingham book, the newest book. I have some personal histories from she and her husband. So yes.
I don't think there's any reason to not accept. So if we want a motion, I'll make a motion to accept the medical kit from Helen Whiting.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion's made second to accept the medical kit from Helen Whiting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, any opposed? No. Ayes have it. Unanimous.
The next one is also from Helen Whiting. It's the V-mail letter sheets. So they're correspondence between Catherine Whiting, V-mail to World War II soldiers. It doesn't seem like they're family letters. It seems like it's more just like she decided to write to random people, because the V-mail letter sheets, excellent condition, used between June 42 and November 45 for correspondence to troops in Europe. Letter sheets were acquired from the Bellingham Post Office and mailed for free to soldiers of World War II. Letters were sent to New York to be scanned, then microfilmed. 1,600 letters to get under one yield. Then the reel was sent to England for printing and distribution. My mother-in-law used V-mail to write to soldiers. She said it saved several pages in perfect condition. She was 16 years old when she began to boost the morale of young troops serving abroad. She was a lifelong resident and recently passed at the age of 95. She's also scheduled time in the town hall steeple to watch for air raids over Bellingham. And she has
my goodness
thing too. So the letters, letters can definitely be put into a binder. They're the same thing. I think they're relevant.
Yes, definitely.
So I'll make a motion that we accept that, the letters into the, what do we call them, our archives?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I'll second
Motion.
that.
Motion's made and seconded to accept the letters from Helen Whiting. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
All right, ayes have
The
it.
last one is the newer one. It was the cobbler's bench, the handmade cobbler's bench.
Yes.
My thing on that is it's a table. We could use it to display some things as well as telling people what it is, because it is a display. You know, it's not that big. It is 17 by 18, so it's just a small square.
But it has a story with it.
It does have a good story.
That's what's, I think, besides any physical thing, it's always if they give us a story, people will interact.
And right, we can publish the story on the stand, you know, as well as whatever else. And we do have other like cobbler. I mean, it's from the shoe factory. We have those metal things that they use to make boots. So we have other things that we could use to display on it that would kind of display it together too.
Yeah, just to let the rest of you guys know, Steve knows because I got an answer from him. I know the Chauffet family. It just so happens that when I was younger, about 100 years ago, I lived right next door to the Chauffets, Catherine Chauffet and her mother, Anna. They lived right next door to where the beef barn is. That's the White House to the left of the beef barn.
Okay.
And I saw the mother. I never got to talk to her, but I saw her. She was in her 80s. And she definitely was, you know, you could tell she was from the other country, old school. She had a garden and everything, and she went out and worked in her garden every day. And Catherine Chauffet worked for the town of Bellingham. Okay. I don't know what department. I don't know if it was the selectman or somewhere. She worked somewhere in the town hall for a short time. She never married that I know of. And yes, that box, even though it doesn't have everything it needs, there is some ties, and, you know, being immigrants coming from a foreign country, coming to Bellingham and settling, you know, on Pulaski Boulevard. To me,
I agree. I think it's so. I'm wondering who the donor is. Is it Ernest and Teresa Damaris? Are they somehow related? Because they say they are the owner of it. Because they say they're the legal owner of it. It just doesn't say how they're
a relative of them. I would imagine.
Yeah, she doesn't say how she's related.
Yeah, we could find out really how she got that and how genuine.
You know, it says are you the legal owner? She says yes. Belong to Matthew came to this country. Okay, well, it does say, while helping Matthew's daughter Catherine clean out some items in her basement, I fell in love with this table. Catherine let me have it. Catherine passed away in 2005. Right. So the story is there. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Jeremy, I got kicked out.
Yeah. Are you back? Can you hear us?
I am.
Okay.
Well, I don't. I called in.
Yeah, that's fine. So we're still discussing the table. More about, because the donor, I want to figure out how the donor got it. And the letter says that Catherine Chauffet gave it to her in 2000. So we have the provenance where it came from. So
yeah, there's significant tie to Bellingham. So I would recommend it. But.
Yeah, it was a nice story talking about an immigrant father and how he took care of his family with their shoes. And what he did.
The table itself with this little story on it with some other items that are similar would make a nice display. Yeah.
It just helps tell the story. Yeah. You know, it's very typical of any immigrant family. What do you do? And it sort of fills in that story in a physical way with the story. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Wooden orange crates is what it's made out of.
Yeah. You make do.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
You make
I'll make a
motion
to have this one if
I second that.
Okay.
All right. We got a motion that's made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
All right.
And the last thing is the thing that I had about display cases. So I sent some links in my report that I sent about potential options for display cases, and I have them here. So I basically looked at sources that sell things. I looked at Amazon and sources that sell things to the library. The one on Amazon is beautiful, but I think it might be too big. I don't know if you can see that. It might be too big for the space that we need. That's $1,200. The ones from Brodart are a similar price, but they're just more, they're a simpler design, but they are the dark wood. Because I wanted to try to match the rest of the wood in the building, because a lot of them just came in oak or, you know, light colored. I think keeping the darker wood tone makes more sense. So I think we can discuss which ones, and we need to figure out how much space we need to buy them. But I would like to at least have a dollar amount put on spending, how much money we want to spend on display cases, so that when the time comes to buy them, we're ready to do it. And it may be sooner than the next meeting. I might want to just do that. And I think I would consult with, you know, at least one other person before we buy, you know, make a decision on what one to buy. But does anyone have opinions on the ones that I proposed?
Well, that you can store more in the tall one, and space is at a premium, right?
Right, but I don't think we have any wall space. You'd have to block a window. I think all of our walls are already filled with tall ones.
Okay. Well, that answers the question then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So would this go under a window?
There's one. So there's one space where I have I already did some photos on the wall. That would be a tall space. And the other one is going to be where and it depends how tall this one is, because under where the new mini split is, if that tall one would fit there. This one, it's beautiful. It looks nice. It has more ornate carving in the wood. It looks a little bit nicer. But I think I haven't gone over there. I'm going over on Friday afternoon. I'd like to measure some of these things. And I guess if we could give the authority to two of us to make the decision, we wouldn't have to wait till the next meeting to order them. And I just put a dollar amount on. Well, I don't think we need more than two.
What's the average price?
They're both, one's $1,100, the other is $1,200. So they're around the same price. So, I mean, for one, yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to get two?
I think we want to see what we have space for. I want to measure it out and see I think if we could put a dollar amount on it, I mean, we could just approve getting one, because that might be a good thing but it might be cheaper to get two at the same time if we're going to get them, as far as shipping and all that other stuff goes.
Right.
And just logistics, because whatever it is, someone's going to have to be there to meet them whenever this delivery, you know, happens, which, so.
That's not a problem for me.
Yeah.
Could we vote to say up to two at up to 2,500? Because there's going to be
one of this and one of this. With shipping, it could be more. These are their prices. And shipping for something this size could be 100. You know, so I mean, I would say if for two of them, I'd want it to go at least 3,000 to be on the safe side.
I think we have the money.
Yeah, we do. We definitely have the money. And we have $4,700 we have to spend before July, or we lose it. So.
All right.
So I make a motion that we approve $3,000 for the purchase of two display cases. TV.
Up to
I second that.
Okay.
Motion made and seconded to appropriate $3,000 for two display cases. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? No, ayes have it. So that's done.
That's all of our voting items. So Steve, if you can come and go whenever you please now.
Okay, I appreciate that.
All right. Thanks, Steve.
I'll stick around for a little bit, but maybe less than 5 minutes. I'm gonna peel off. I'll let you know before I go. Thank you.
All right.
All right. All right. So the number one thing was like the renovation updates. We'll get to that. I did go over to the museum the other day, and I moved some stuff over from Domino's back in there. I moved part of the sleigh, and I did get help from Ken, Ronnie Paulus's sidekick there, to bring stuff in. I don't know if you guys know, Ronnie Paulus is under treatment for cancer. He's got a cancer that he can't lift over 20 pounds. So Ken and I did what we could, but we are going to need some young help.
So we can,
the body.
I can talk to Dennis and some Parks Department guys, because the Parks Department guys, they move like picnic tables, they move stuff. So we just need to schedule that.
They're all gone for the winter. There are no Parks guys left.
Yeah.
No, the Parks guys are gone. And then you know, Ronnie Paulus was telling me, yeah, all the Pox guys are gone for the season, and the only thing left is the highway, and those guys are going to be busy all weekend, all winter, putting down salt.
So you've got the sleigh base there, which tells us at least the footprint of it, which is good, because then we can plan what's going to go around it if it's in that space. So, and there's nothing else really that big over there that has to come back, right? It's the sleigh itself.
The sleigh body. And
yeah, right.
Ken and I tried to do it.
Yeah.
I think it took 3 or 4 of the football players to bring it over there.
You know what? Let's just wait till spring till the Parks guys are back. Because as long as I know where it's going to go and we have the footprint on the, you know, where it's going to sit, we can work around it. That's what we need to know, how much space it was going to really take up. So,
and I took some stuff out of there and put it into Domino's, which was that long piece that was I'm going to call it sawtooth or whatever type thing from some house that was laying on the floor. That beam. Yeah. I moved that over to Domino's, and I moved some other stuff. And I moved some boxes to the other side of the room to try to make that side where the air conditioner is going to go accessible to start setting something up, because now we got more boxes in there than we got space.
Right.
You know, so I moved everything over to the other side, and
so what I'm hoping to do is
start doing something.
But the Marjorie was working on the Creamfield Commons. What I was hoping to do is get all those Creamfield Commons in the basement organized and get all those off of the shelves, and that would open up space in the basement so we could get some stuff on the shelves, and that would open up floor space. So it's just a matter of, it's going to be a lot of moving things around before we can actually get.
Oh yeah. Like I tried to get that washing machine over there myself, but that was not happening.
Yeah. So as long as we move it to a corner somewhere, and then we wait till we can get some Parks guys to help us out. I do have a volunteer. So I had a teen girl that came in that was looking to volunteer at the library, and I don't have anything for her, but I said, I've got, so she's going to meet me on Saturdays at the museum, and for starting it's supposed to be this week, but then her whatever recital that was supposed to be last Saturday got postponed because of snow. So she's not going to be there until next Saturday, but I'm going to meet her on Saturday mornings from 9 to 12 throughout the rest of January and February to try to get some things organized, to get some stuff done. I'm going to go over there actually Friday afternoon this week. Since she's not available Saturday, I'm not going to give it my Saturday, but I'm going to go over Friday afternoon just to try to get my head around what I can have her do. So I have something ready for her to work on when she shows up next week. So if any of you can join us on Saturday mornings, starting next week from tomorrow, Saturday, you know, we might be able to get some things done, or any other mornings. Rick, I'm willing to meet in the mornings, but we need projects to work on. We need things that we need to get done. I know.
Yeah. I know Friday I can probably meet you on Friday. I'm looking to see, Friday on the 14th, I can probably meet you there for a while. And
I'll be there between 12 and 1. I have a morning meeting. Whatever my morning meeting ends, I'll get over after I get a bite.
Just send me a text or something, and I'll go over there. I wanted to share. I don't know if I emailed you this, Bernadette, but I got a email or a mail, an email from Nancy Champney from the Senior Center.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this before, about senior work-off program and having seniors helping us.
Yeah.
She said, "Good afternoon, Rick. I have 3 new tax work-off applicants that are interested in doing their tax work-off time at the Historical Museum."
Yeah.
Then she gave me the name Lauren Hummel, Douglas Smith, and Mary Bellamora. And then she says, scanned over their copies and their applications. If you need help, you know, and I think I sent her back a thing saying, yeah, we do need help, but we have to find out what help we need.
Right. I think we need to, if we're going to get volunteers, we need to decide what we want them to do. You know, that's you have to have, I mean, I think once we're open, we could have these volunteers just sitting there being a presence for open hours, which would be great, you know. But right now, I think it's more we need to wrap our head around. Steve and I were working on the uniforms. That's one thing that next thing is getting all the uniforms off the thing, so we decide what uniforms we're going to display, get them off of the mannequins, get the mannequins accessible, and then decide if we want to buy new mannequins or once we have the uniforms on them, if the mannequins are sufficient with the ones we have. Marjorie was working on the crimp-filled comments thing, and I do have the supplies for that, Marjorie. I bought new binders and new sleeves. So I'll bring those over on Friday. So those are ready to be there for the next step of that project. And then once we, we're going to keep 3 copies of each back issue of the crimp-filled comments, and they get rid of all the duplicates because there are so many. There's like 10, even I think the ones that are in the basement, they kept 10 copies of all the back issues. If we have one clean copy that we can scan down the road when we're ready to do some scanning and a couple extras, I don't see that we need to keep 10 copies. And the ones that are in the binders now.
Sorry, excuse me 1 second, I gotta go.
Okay.
Thank you, good night.
See you, Steve.
All
Bye-bye.
right, thank you, Steve.
So the ones that are in the binders now, some of them, they actually put a 3-hole punch through the content and just put them in a binder. So if we find some that aren't 3-hole punch, we want to keep clean copies. So that's going to be the project, is to get a nice new set of binders of the crimp-filled comments, because even the binders they're in look old, tired, and worn. So I bought some new binders to make them look nice.
I will be able to do some stuff on the crimp-filled comments probably in another month. I'm still transitioning with medication and probably not feeling real safe to drive in the next month until I can get through that.
If you don't mind, Marjorie, I can have this volunteer kind of start working on it with me too.
I don't mind that at all.
That would give me something immediate to have her work on.
Yeah,
a lot of
it's simple. It's simple, relatively mindless stuff.
Yeah, she's a high school junior, so I'm sure she can. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably okay.
I'm just gonna not necessarily be as clear-headed as I would like.
Okay. Okay, so that's good.
Like that in a long time, Marjorie. So you're good.
So that's good. So that gives me something to work on. Yeah, and the rest of it's just it's slow, and I don't even know if we're going to make Memorial Day now. That's we'll see where we are. That's that was my goal, was around the spring, open in the late spring, but it's still a lot of stuff. But if we can clean out some things out of the basement and make some space, we can just get the stuff that's upstairs downstairs. And then,
some stuff that's downstairs out of the building.
Right. Yeah. Right. And that's what Steve and I were working on. One thing is just things that could be thrown away, that really were, just trash, and identifying those things. And, I feel the business sign, that huge business sign, we're never going to have space to display that. What we ought to do is get it on the lawn in the spring, take a nice picture of it. And then it's a metal sign that is probably 30 feet long. It's in 2 pieces. It's huge. And I forget what the business was. It meant nothing to me. So it was it's not like my Glockner's or anything famous that I want to say it was like, I forget what it is, but we can talk about what it is before we get rid of it. But I think we have no place to display that. So I think taking pictures of those things, recording what they were, and then, we get rid of them. And that's what the goal is. There is a lot of clothing that I don't know that we need to keep. That's and even when we talk about the uniforms, once we decide what we are going to keep, if we have 2 World War II uniforms that are the same, do we need to keep both of them? I don't think so. So I think you look at who donated them, what their stature in the town was, or what their stature in the military was, and then decide which ones go on display and which ones
keep the most important ones, and then. Right. Unless the town's going to build us a brand new building, a new historical museum.
Yeah, but if it's the same thing as something else, it doesn't really tell a new story, and that's the idea behind a museum. Telling a story. So.
So.
Okay.
But other than that, that's the museum updates. Budget update. That's really. We jumped ahead and did everything else. So
we've got $4,711.11 in our municipal budget out of the $6,000 we started with. So spending $3,000 of that on display cases will still leave us money for other things between now and the end of the year. The other thing that I actually thought of after the meeting, which we can wait till next month, it might be good for us to buy a laminator, because then if we make some, it's like say we put something on the wall, you could laminate a sign next to it to put it without having to. And those are only a couple $100. So I don't know if we want to talk about getting a laminator, because I think it could make it easy to for displaying things too.
The laminating material has actually gotten quite expensive.
It is expensive. Those are like $1 a sheet. The laminating, the sheets that go through them are about $1 a piece.
So if we bought a laminator, we should also invest in a substantial supply of material to laminate with.
Right. Because I think, I mean, I've done some here. You can put, if we're just doing signs, you can put 3 or 4 things on, you know, cut them up, put them in the laminator and laminate multiple things at the same time too. We use ours here all the time for signs, for everything. And they really do make, they make your signs last longer, you know, and especially for museum things, if we say we put something up on the wall, you could just put a description of what it is on a piece of laminated something, and then even like painters tape it to the wall so it doesn't damage the wall, but it's displaying what's there without having to formally frame or do some things for describing things. I thought of that after I did my report. So I don't know if you guys want to vote on buying a couple $100 on a laminating machine. Up to $200.
We have a quorum. Yeah, we do.
I think we still have a quorum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I make a motion we spend up to $200 for a laminating machine and supplies.
I would second that.
All right. Motion's made and seconded for a laminating machine and supplies. All those in favor?
Aye.
I did say, I don't know if you heard me.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So
All
I think that will make it, and even you can do things like the sides of binders, you can laminate things. It just makes things look it make a lot more professional. We have a good printer, so having a laminator would be helpful. Okay.
You know, and I'll tell you, I got to thank you all for stepping up and bringing the historical commission to another level. Because, you know, even though we haven't been open to the public and we haven't had people crossing our paths or stuff like that, and we don't have a new ramp in the front of the historical commission yet, we've done leaps and bounds in the short time over this.
Yeah, we're getting applications, people wanting to give us things, tells us that somehow, I mean, I don't know if they weren't getting these, or if maybe they were just accepting anything anyone dropped off before, but that if we get an application or 2 a month, I think that shows that we're out there and people see a value to what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yes.
What I'd like to do is also have well, we probably really don't need it, just to let Bernadette know, because when she goes by every day, we get mail at the museum and I just put it on the desk usually. If I don't get a chance to run by the library or if you're not there, so I just leave it on the desk. So I just from time to time in the future, if you could like just stop in and see if there's anything, I'll leave it on the desk.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't been, I admit I haven't been more than a month. I stopped by I did stop by once. I did get one check. Whatever day I did this deposit was when I stopped by. I got a check January 4th. So I did stop by after New Year's because I did a deposit. There was one check there.
Another one.
Yeah.
You might have another one there.
Okay, yeah.
When I was there a couple of days ago, there was something there from somebody and it was the envelope. It kind of looked like it would have, you know, a donation of some kind in there.
I'll be there. I'm going Friday and it really, the next, I plan on being there every Saturday for the next probably 6 weeks or so. So that'll, because the mail just gets thrown through the slot and it's on the floor. Although sometimes I pick up mail for the museum at Town Hall too. Sometimes they deliver it to, I
never go there, but.
So I check the Town Hall bin every time I'm there for Town Hall stuff too. So.
Sounds good. Well, I don't know. Does anybody have?
I have one more. Just one thing. The next Crimfield comments, which what I would love to have the next Crimfield comments be is like a summary of what the museum, you know. So we're kind of together, and we have pictures of what we're displaying and stories of those. Maybe it's those top 10 assets that we're going to display, and it's about the museum. You know, has an opening date because we really don't have to put anything out till June or July. So hopefully we'll be in a better space then, and the museum, the Crimfield Commons can be about the museum is reopened and here are the highlights of our collections. And I do want to put together, we found a booklet that was done. It was kind of a, almost like a tour guide of like what's in the museum as you walked around. So I think that's something we ought to look at doing once we have everything back together. If they're permanent collections, letting people, so they could do like a self-guided tour. So if we have volunteers sitting there, you know, there's some kind of a, you know, walk in, go left, just tell people what to
organization, you know, be organized to a point where people can find what they're looking for. Yeah. Especially that wall in back.
Even a listing of what we have, you know, we do have all the yearbooks, we have the town reports, we have the, you know, a document that tells people what's available at the museum so they know what they can get there.
Even there behind the desk by that door that goes out to the ramp, there's a ton of information in those binders, you know, and pictures of old buildings and stuff in town. I mean, I just think it's great. I go in there and look around all the time, just trying to, I said, but you know, I think it's going to feel a lot better for all of us when we were able to open the doors and we're able to meet with the people that come in and maybe help guide them around the museum, because it really looks great. You know, the new lighting. I did see Gary.
Okay.
And I said, we got to do something about this air conditioning. It's got to be hooked up. They're bugging me, you know, and, you know, they're going to change the service. He's going to put a new service on it and everything. And so I just did that within the last couple of days. So I lit a little spark on I planted a seed, they call it.
I saw him recently too, and I reminded him. So yeah. He's
going to get sick of hearing from us, and he's just going to come over and do it. So that'll be the good. I told him I'd even give him a hand, you know, but I said, I'm not going to sit here and figure it all out and do it. You figure it out and do it. I'm beyond those days.
Yeah.
You know, I forget what I'm doing when I leave one room and go into another. So, I mean,
what is it that's standing in the way with the air conditioner? What still needs
the electrician's got to hook it up. He's just going to come and do the electrical work.
Run the wire.
Yeah, so the HVAC company has installed it. It's just waiting to be connected to the electricity.
Okay.
You know, that needs to be done before April or May, when we start needing to put the air.
Which he has to go across the basement to run the wires, because the electrical panel is on the opposite side of the building.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So he's got to run across the basement along the beam, either with what they call MC cable, metal clad cable, and then poke it outside and put the box, the disconnect and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of finding a day to do it, which he told me we were going to get it done by Thanksgiving. And well, it ain't done yet.
He didn't specify which year.
Yeah, he didn't say what year. So,
but yeah, that's going to be, and the other thing one thing actually that's good about that building is it actually technically does have, do those windows open? Do the windows open there? I know maybe the windows don't open.
I don't know. I think they do, but I'm not sure.
We left the doors open. Like when I've been there and it's been hot or cold, whatever, the temperature's not great. You just left the doors open to get fresh air, because there are two doors. There's the front door and then there's the door by the ramp. So there's you get some air into the building if you need to.
The windows may be painted shut, but I'm sure they're.
I'm wondering why we would open the doors if the windows are open. So the windows probably are painted shut, is my guess. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know they don't have screens.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay.
So, but yeah, it would be, and the other thing that would be nice about that is having the dehumidifier function of that is invaluable when you're in a museum, having a dehumidifier built in, because that's what those things have it's heat.
That's running constantly downstairs.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And running one upstairs might not be a bad idea either.
But is anybody monitoring it? Because those need to drain outdoors.
Yeah, the one downstairs in the basement drains directly into the sump hole or something.
Yeah, it has a pump or something. Yeah, to go. Yeah.
There's a hose attached to it, so it doesn't have to be emptied.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's an automatic drain, but
the other ones was just drain outside, because the mini splits it just goes right outside. I tell you, we have those at our house in Fairhaven, and we use the dehumidifier way more than we use the air conditioning, unless it's like 95 degrees and humid. Just getting the wetness out of the air makes it so much more comfortable. So, so that's all I got.
We're gaining ground, folks. We're gaining ground. Things are looking
slow
good.
And steady wins the race. Isn't that what they say?
Slow and steady wins the race. I've heard that this week more than once. You know what? I said,
we're gonna win soon.
Slow and steady, because I'm certainly not fast anymore.
Okay. All right. Pam, I sent you a quick little message. Did you see that?
It to you very shortly.
Okay.
Okay, and then so we need a motion to adjourn. So I put a time on this thing to finish my notes. There you go.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Sure.
Motion's made, second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
5:34
p.m. Thank you all very much.
Thanks. We'll see you.
All right.
What's
We're
the date?
making progress.
The next one should be, it's not a holiday, is it?
Oh, I didn't even check that.
So we do once
February.
Monday. February is the first or the second one that we do?
14th?
The 14th. It's the 14th. Valentine's Day.
I know.
Anyone have a problem with that? Yeah, plus some.
Well, I don't-
I'm going to. Is anybody going to be in Aruba the 14th? No?
No.
Let's just say the 14th, unless something changes, we'll notify everybody.
All
All
right.
right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
It's 5
Thank
o'clock.
you.
So we're
Thank
good.
you very
Okay.
much.
Take care. Have a good
Take care.
night.
All right. Good night.